How many times did you say, that was not on my bingo card in 2023? For me, it felt like a lot. It seems like a year of a lot of firsts, a lot of crazy things happening, from celebrity cancellations to industry records being set in a multitude of ways. And every single time it seems like we're like, this was not on my bingo card, which got me thinking, what if we actually made a bingo card for 2024? Well, that is exactly what we did. Yep. Welcome back to the Share Your Screen podcast. My name is Nikki.
And I'm Coco.
And this is kind of a part 2 to our previous video where part 1 was called That Was Not on My Bingo Card for 2023. And essentially we kind of went through things that happened this year that really, really shocked us. And also how we think that they kind of changed and defined the industries that those things happened in. So for part 2, we thought, well, let's try and predict what's going to happen next year. And the idea of it was to make a game out of it. So we actually designed 2 bingo cards, and we're going to keep this score running in all of our episodes throughout the next year. And anytime one of these things happen, we're going to cross it off. And then whoever gets a bingo first wins. We also included a link to these in the description below. So if you guys want to make your own bingo cards, send them to us in the Discord. We would love to look at it and respond to some of your predictions. We broke this down into categories because obviously it's like an entire year is too much to predict. So the way we did it was 5 movies, 5 music predictions, 5 creator economy predictions, 5 general marketing predictions, 1 free space, because every bingo card has a free space, and then 4 miscellaneous. So then the miscellaneous can be anything from the previous categories or also something that has literally nothing to do with anything at all. And mine had a lot of collab stuff too, which I'm really excited about. I also have some that are really, really general and also some that are very, very specific. Like
Same. Mine are, I think, yeah, my marketing ones are more general, like what trends will be big on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff. And then like my celebrity creator ones are like for specific people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. What category do you want to start with?
Let's do music.
Okay. Music's good.
Yes.
Let's like alternate. So like
Okay.
we'll ping pong back and forth.
Yes.
Until we switch categories. First,
All right.
ladies first.
I think that Aaliyah's interlude, the ITGIRL.
Yep.
You know that I'm that girl. Aaliyah's interlude came running out of the gates with music this year.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna collab with Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Cardi B stays on the internet.
Good one.
Like Cardi B is on the internet. I feel like she is better at technology than I am. Like she is always doing the new features. She always knows about like different. If not Cardi B, Doja Cat's gonna collab with Aaliyah's interlude.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, one of those celebrities who like knows internet lingo.
I wouldn't be surprised about Cardi B because both Doja and Nicki have kind of aligned with Ice Spice, and I could see Cardi B wanting to like kind of replicate the success of taking one person who's super popular on the internet and then one person who's super popular in music and blending them together has been like such a successful strategy this year. Take Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift on Eras Tour, for example. Like I could totally see Cardi B doing something like that. That's a good one.
Thank you.
My first music prediction is I think we are going to have another huge $100 million plus theatrical release of some sort of music documentary, movie, concert, like taking a music experience and turning it into some sort of 2-hour long video format. I think we saw Taylor Swift and Beyonce do it next year. And I think other artists it's like the floodgates are open now.
And you know what's going to be at that Vegas sphere? It's going to be like a documentary of Harry Styles, like figuring out his set at the Vegas.
Vegas is 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Southwest flight, $30 will be there.
Oh, we will.
Call us.
Call us. Okay. Back to you.
All right. Mine is also a little bit more of like a creator, but in the music lane. I predict in 2024, my bingo card is that Dylan Mulvaney will put out her first song.
She kind of already did.
Yeah, the Blue Christmas, but it's gonna be like maybe it'll be like an EP, like just come running out of the gates, drop a project, and the style that I could see Dylan Mulvaney doing and being really good at. One, she has like a really high voice that's so like obviously like Broadway and like musical trained, but I could see her going the direction of this trend that's been growing the last few years with Steven Sanchez and LeVay. LeVay. We're mutuals. Hi, Much. And they have this like older, like Frank Sinatra vibe going on, old Hollywood music, jazz that's like coming up.
Yeah.
Dylan Mulvaney would perfectly vocally fit in that genre.
Totally. There is no doubt in my mind Dylan Mulvaney is going to be huge in music in like minimum 3 years.
Oh.
I totally think she's going to release something. I would love to see her feature on something. I think would be really, really cool too, like with another artist.
Renee Rapp,
I think
they're
that's
friends.
such, yes, a great, and both like the Broadway connection. Like I could see them doing something like that, or even just like covering, like how cool would it be if like when the Wicked movie comes out, like Ariana and Dylan like do a collab, like just like to cover the song together.
Yes, that would be so good. And I feel like Dylan Mulvaney is going to be a huge music artist in the way that like Troye Sivan and Conan Gray are, and that people are like, oh, their music career is so big, I forgot they were even on YouTube. Or like Shawn Mendes, you don't remember he was in MagCon because they end up becoming so big in the other lane.
Totally. Another prediction I have is I think 2024, the music industry is going to lean heavily into nostalgia bait, and we are going to see a really high increase of the use of samples from like classic or iconic movies or songs or things like that. Because I feel like we saw so much of that this year, right? The recent Nicki Minaj album, great example. SZA doing it with Kill Bill and the sounds from the Kill Bill movie. Flowers by Miley Cyrus is a riff off of Bruno Mars. Troye Sivan, Got Me Started. Like, I think that there's been so much nostalgia in film and stuff over the past year. I think it's going to seep its way into music, and people are going to start like pulling from old movies and stuff to add sound bites to their songs.
Yes, even like obviously different feelings about him, but Kanye West went viral because in his new album he sampled a Backstreet Boys like Everybody. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's like an early 2000s boy band.
Exactly.
Like you wouldn't associate that with him, but it worked.
It did work.
One that I have is Taylor Swift has the Reputation Taylor's version coming out soon. My prediction.
Okay.
Beyonce is going to be on the new Taylor version of her song Endgame.
Really?
Why? Because one, they've been spotted together multiple times. They both showed up to each other's movies. And the song Endgame has the intro that she was doing for the Eras tour that's like, big reputation. And it's like this chanting. And the original song had Future on it, Ed Sheeran, so it was already a collaborative song.
Yeah.
I think it's like one of Taylor Swift's sleeper hits, like such a good song. And the whole chanting part is like, you got a big reputation. Beyonce would fucking kill a verse about, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but Beyonce would kill a verse about big reputation, Jay-Z saying I got a big reputation, like showing me Google alerts about my reputation, like some verse about that with Beyonce on it.
That's a crazy one.
Would be insane.
It would be so cool if at the end of all of this, they did a song together.
Yeah.
Or something together. But I also don't know if they will, because I think that they've been very intentional about trying not to feed into.
Yeah. And their tours were so different aesthetically. They don't
But I don't
be
know.
like,
it also, I think if it did, it would like break the internet. So.
well, and I think Beyonce would do it as a nod to, like, everyone knows that Reputation was linked to what happened with Kanye West. And if you remember that VMA night, it would be so full circle because Taylor didn't get her moment. So when Beyonce won an award later in the night, she brought Taylor Swift back up on stage so Taylor could finish her speech.
Yeah.
And I think this would be like the perfect full circle moment
You're
for
right.
her to appear on the Reputation album.
That's so good. I love that. Like 2024, I think is going to be about music duos. I really think we're going to see so much more collaboration. I think we're already starting to see it a lot. Again, like this Nicki Minaj album. Also, Megan Thee Stallion, Renee Rapp. Recently, like I think that we're going to see another top 10 Billboard song between a duo in the industry who has never worked together before. But I think a song like will just spawn out of nowhere. Giving Boys a Liar part two.
Yes.
Like just I think people are really craving new duos.
Mine is that this is my fourth one. Troye Sivan performing on SNL in a blonde wig, and it'll be the one song about like girls, or it would be him singing, and then all the dancers on stage are in blonde wigs. And then the reason I think that Troye Sivan is going to go on SNL as a performer soon is because he's probably in the Grammy circuit because his song was nominated.
Yeah.
Russian
Troye Sivan needs to go on SNL.
I know.
But could you imagine if he went on SNL and then he did a skit pretending to be Willy Wonka, making fun of Timothy Chalamet?
Oh my God.
I think that would be really funny.
Or what if they did a skit like about his music video, but he's Ross Lynch's character, like sitting in the chair or something?
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. And also Troye Sivan I was in the 0.01% of Troye Sivan listeners. That was my number one person this year.
I love that. Yeah. He's been usually my number one a lot. I think my number one this year was the Backseat Lovers, if you know them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
We love them. Okay. I think that in 2024, there is going to be a major song that samples a TikTok sound.
Oh.
I don't know why this hasn't happened yet. I'm still so shocked. Like, I think we're going to see a meme blow up. Like, can you imagine if somebody sampled in a song? Like, the craziest thing about being creative, like something like that is going to make its way into a song. And I don't know why no artist has done it yet, because I feel like it would be such an easy way to like hack the For You page of like, everybody would just start using it. Like, especially if it's something that already went viral once.
Yes, I know that some DJs are sampling certain things, like the Gail Lewis signing out. I think Dylan Francis sampled. And yeah, no, that would be really cool if they, I think too, it would just come down to like, there might be like legal things that they would have to figure out, but
I think so. I think they just pay them.
Yeah, true.
Like the same way you do for sampling and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, my last prediction for music, although yours did give me one caveat side one.
Okay.
Because Lauv was the first artist to use AI to put out one of his songs now in Korean, not just English, I think we'll see a artist put out an entire new album, like a new version in different languages using AI.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like I could see a big artist doing that.
Oh, 100%. I have lots of things about AI on my list.
Yeah. Okay, fun.
Number 5 for me is, I think, again, talking about, I think the industry especially on tours specifically, is going to shift towards this model that we've seen be really successful this year of mainstream, huge headliner, and then opening act that's really, really big on TikTok. So like Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, SZA and David.
Yeah. Gail.
Doja Cat, Ice Spice, Gail. Yeah. Like this pairing has really, really worked. And I know a big problem in the industry for a long time has been digital artists don't sell tickets the same way. And I think that this is like really kind of going like cross-pollinating audiences in a really great way. Like my mom doesn't know who Sabrina Carpenter is, but if you like Taylor Swift's music, you probably will like Sabrina Carpenter's music. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Same thing with like SZA and David, I think was such a great example. Like the added benefit of like, okay, now this person can actually sell tickets because they have SZA's fandom or Taylor Swift's fandom.
Gives them legacy.
Yes, exactly. So I think we're going to see this like legacy new talent duo be the blueprint for like every music tour from here on out.
I love that. And I have one last one too for music, but this one's so specific, more a pitch than even a prediction. But like Tate McRae's Super Bowl commercial with Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. used to be known for like the Daisy Dukes, Jessica Simpson's, Paris Hilton. Like they would be like washing a car and then like eating the burger.
Okay.
But it would be Tate McRae dancing and like on a Zamboni on an ice hockey rink because she's been leaning into the hockey theme. So she would be, and it would be playing the song Greedy. She'd be doing her dance to it while washing like on the Zamboni. And then it'd be the Greedy. And then at the end she'd go, the only time I'll allow you to be greedy is at Carl's Jr. And then their slogan, eat like you mean it. And then because she's from Canada and leaning into the hockey thing and everything, it would be promoting like a maple flavored burger and like tied into Canada and ice hockey and that whole aesthetic.
Okay, category number 2. We're done with music.
Yep, that was good.
Okay, I'm gonna pick this one.
Okay.
Let's do creator economy.
Okay.
Because it's fun, and I'll do my prediction first. I think Dylan Mulvaney is gonna be at the 2024 Met Gala.
Oh. Has to be.
Has to be. Like, there's no way.
She gives looks.
She gives looks.
And she understands the assignment. Like,
Literally.
she's not just showing up to show up.
Did you not see her video where she was like going over all her looks for this year and was like talking about, I was like listening to that video so intently because it really made me like value how much effort and thought she puts into everything and how she's like, oh, like I really wanted to feel like Audrey Hepburn, or like, oh, I was really excited to be blonde and blah, blah. And I think that's what we need, especially from like TikTokers and content creators. Like, we've talked about this before. My favorite thing about creators going to events like the Met Gala is like they're really excited to be there.
Yeah.
Like every other, like the Kardashians have been there 18 times. Like it's not like they're not always showing out anymore. But I love when somebody is like so excited, they try so hard, they talk about it, they post about it. Like, I don't know, it just feels like a really triumphant moment. And I love that.
Dylan would, yeah, you're right. Dylan would be so great for that. And I don't know if, I think she got comments like this before, but when she was at the Nobu event we were at, like before my TikTok even blew up, was there for work, not this. And I met Dylan and I told her, I was like, I don't know if anyone's told you, but you just like remind me of Audrey Hepburn, like our generation. Yeah. And I think she got comments like that, but like really seeing her lean into that old Hollywood look, I think is really making her a legacy star. Totally. And not just a TikTok star.
I also, in general, it's not on my list, think that old Hollywood look is going to be huge next year.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's already come back.
I mean, it has, yeah, for sure. But I feel like it's like gonna go crazy.
Like more Lana Del Rey type artists coming up.
Or even just in like fashion and stuff. Yeah. Like I think those types of haircuts and the big pearls we've seen coming back, those types of dresses. Yeah. That type of stuff.
Especially with like the 2 Elvis movies that came out and an emphasis on like Priscilla. Yep. One of my predictions is that Victoria Paris is gonna be the first TikToker to launch an entire like furniture line.
I have been talking about this for yes, she needs to launch a furniture line. But not just
a collab. It's going to be like it's going to be hers.
Yes. And I want to see creators doing more creative direction.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. If you want to target a Gen Z female audience, why are you not hiring somebody that has a millions of Gen Z female audience? Like, they clearly know how to market to that category. And exactly what you said, Victoria Paris would be so great for something like a furniture line, especially because I think that sort of like late teen to going to college to moving out of your parents' house, getting your apartment and stuff, you buy so much furniture. Like, it's actually such a great collab.
And you can like, someone would be good for it when you can already like imagine what it would look like. Yes. And what I love about Victoria Paris as a creator is that she is bigger than just TikTok. And I think she really understands and sees social media as a vehicle, not the destination.
Yes.
And so many people that go wrong see social media as just the destination and they don't think bigger.
Exactly.
I feel like she almost uses TikTok. I don't know for sure. She seems brilliant in that she almost uses TikTok to get that like attention and like gas in the engine. So then she can go to investors and say, I want to do a furniture line.
I mean, I'm surprised she hasn't even like leaned hard into YouTube.
Yeah. Like, but I think she just is, I think she's more of a creative director than like a creator eventually. Like I could see her being more of a like oversight versus a daily.
Totally. And I loved what you said about like the vehicle and the destination. I made a TikTok the other day about talking about a similar concept that I was talking about how I felt like social media is not the end point anymore. It's like the discovery point. And people who just like view their discovery and endpoint as the same thing never lasts. But people who are always like, how do I take this audience and move them here and never lose that, like are always the ones that find success.
And they think outside the box because they're not at the mercy of the algorithm. They're just like, I know that like this isn't a reflection of me. It's just like a vehicle of where I'm getting. And so they take more creative risks.
Exactly. And I think there's also like, you can just appeal to more people. You know what I mean? Like there are some people who have only know us from this podcast. And there are some people who have never watched an episode of our podcast in their life. Yeah. And it's like, I'm happy that both of them can find a way to enjoy this. I agree. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. Is it my turn again?
Yes.
Okay. I think that I have 2 predictions that kind of coincide with each other.
Okay.
So the first is that sometime in the next year, we're going to see one major retailer get on TikTok Shop and it's going to like completely explode the app. So like, I think it's either going to be like a Sephora or a Target or a book Publisher is another one that I thought would be a good example, where it's just like one store, but it opens the door to like, you know what I mean? Just Sephora is like 80% of all makeup. And we start to see, which is my second prediction, 2024 is the year of TikTok Shop. And I think what it's going to be is instead of ads, instead of brand deals, like everybody's really getting sick of that. It's been going on the internet for so long. We're going to see a gradual pull away from that and more of this investment into like organic content with like TikTok Shop. And I think it's going to be like they're going to change the interface so you can start tagging products the same way you would like tag a friend in an Instagram post, where it's like it's not an annoying ad. It doesn't show up unless you click it, right? But if you like tap the foundation that they're using, it will pop up and you can like click it to go view it in TikTok Shop. And we're going to see this blend of content and commerce where like I don't want to just read a review on Amazon anymore, right? I want to see, if I'm going to buy the foundation, I want to see you picking it up, unbottling it, putting it on your skin, seeing how it sits in, seeing how pigmented it is. You know what I mean? Like we're just such visual creatures that anytime I see an opportunity for something that already exists to get more visual, great example being e-commerce, I just think it's like destined to happen. And I think TikTok is going to blow up, or like just a Target, and we'll see every chef, you know what I mean, starts putting their recipes with TikTok. Like one random category will do it. And then I think it will completely change like the culture of the app and how we use that feature.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, I've bought things on TikTok.
I got the bangs. This girl
the bang
loves TikTok Shop.
Dude, I'm obsessed with TikTok.
I've never known a person to buy more items off TikTok Shop than you. And I love it.
I know. I am a victim of consumerism, but like, I will say this, there are some hokey brands on TikTok, and I'm actually glad TikTok Shop went after all those people violating IP infringement. If you're selling a thing with Mickey Mouse, you can't do that. So it legitimized TikTok Shop that they said we are not going to be the place. We are not Etsy. We will not allow this to happen. No shade to Etsy, but you know, in my opinion. And TikTok Shop really put their foot down. And I think you're right. It's going to take a big retailer like a Target or a Sephora. The only big one kind of right now is like Revolve and PacSun, but it's gonna take like when I have meetings with clients, and I tell them you need to be on TikTok Shop. They say, who else can we look to? And I'm like, Revolve, like they're the only ones. And they're like, if a bigger one gets on, then we'll get on.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll take a quote. A competition of none is always better than a competition of one. Like you want to be. Sorry, that's not the quote.
No, but I love that. I'll take no competition.
If you're in a category of one, you will always have a competition of none. And that is the idea of like, always be your own category, because then no one will ever be able to catch up to you.
Yeah.
And I think that it should be more signal to brands.
Yes.
If like there's a bunch of money being poured into something and your competitors aren't on it, be the first.
Yes.
Don't wait for somebody else to do it. I hate when they're like, well, we'll see if somebody else. It's like, okay, you can lose money in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My prediction is that I think Trisha Paytas is going to finally be cast on Dancing with the Stars. And here's why. Did you have that on your bingo card?
No, but I would love that.
Here's why. She's talked openly about, and I agree with her. And also it seems that Dancing with the Stars, since the success of like JoJo Siwa and Charlie D'Amelio, they're going after more of these TikTokers, and Trisha Paytas is bigger than a TikToker, but she has a very loyal Gen Z audience now because of like TikTok and her podcast. And she made a great point that I was like, wow. When she was going to be on Dancing with the Stars a few years ago,
I think I know
according
exactly
to her. And then they pulled her out at the last minute allegedly because she had an OnlyFans. Guess who the freak they had? The
Harry
face of
Jowsey.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yep.
Billboards everywhere.
Yep.
Kept him in the competition.
Terrible dancer.
Had him in later than Lele Pons. Clearly was not based on skill. Harry Jowsey. Guess who has an OnlyFans? Harry Jowsey. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
I think he's like one of the biggest people on
and,
it. Like that's what he's
known
for.
Of it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a grown adult, nothing wrong with it. The point that I'm making is that why did Dancing with the Stars pull out? Because Trisha Paytas had an OnlyFans and they allegedly, said, you know, we don't want a creator that has an OnlyFans for a female creator, but when a male creator does it, he's their Prince Charming and he's all over the feed.
I also think it has something to do with her being plus size.
Oh,
because
you're right.
also it's not like,
it's
have you
messed
seen
up.
but it's like, okay, so why is this okay for conventionally attractive, fit male. And then when it's a plus size woman, it's not. Like, it's so ridiculous.
I know. Harry Jowsey is the Kris Jenner of our generation. Like, that man is
the Kris
smart.
Jenner of Netflix reality TV shows.
Exactly.
Do another one because I did 2 in mine.
Okay. I think that not only in 2024, I predict Alex Earle is going to be invited to the Met Gala.
Yeah.
But it is going to be with Versace specifically. She looks like such a Versace girl. The gold, the dark eyeliner, the blonde hair, Donatella.
It would be
like,
smart.
She fits that vibe.
I think it would be smart to do because of the Florida connection also.
Florida.
Yeah, that's where
and then
Versace- the
Miami.
Versace
They lived in
mansion was,
Miami.
and yeah.
She went to Miami. And also, like, Dua Lipa's a big Versace girl. Like, I could see Alex Earle and Dua Lipa walking the carpet together. Like, Alex Earle 100% is going to the Met Gala. I think she's going to be with Versace.
Interesting.
And that's my prediction.
All right. My 4th prediction is I think we are going to see the divide between mainstream celebs and creators become the smallest that it's ever been. And we're going to see increased collaboration between the two. So, like, most recent example I thought of was Kai Cenat and Nicki Minaj. I don't know if you saw that, where he went on hers and like met his mom and his sister, and then she brought him out at her concert. I don't know if you saw that. Brittany Broski and Harry Styles happened this year. Also, TikTok is sponsoring the Met Gala, as we've talked about.
The first year TikTok is sponsoring the Met Gala.
I think we're starting to see that, like, smart celebrities are making strategic alliances with, like, specific creators that kind of coincide with their fandom because they know, like, if we get the Brittany Broski audience, they're all going to buy a Harry Styles ticket. You know what I mean? Or the Kai Cenat and Nicki Minaj.
Chris Olsen, Meghan Trainor were like...
Exactly.
And it seems like they were hometown friends. And then they admitted on the Cancel podcast, like, it was all a gimmick, basically.
Yeah.
Like, we faked it until we made it.
Yep.
That's a great prediction. My last one for creator is Madison Beer needs to come out with a beer company. But it needs to be like so much beer is marketed to men. And again, I don't want it to be like when that one company was selling like razors for women and it was more expensive and just pink, but like the same product. Don't want it to be like that. I think it could be a fundamental change in the brand identity, the marketing. And Madison Beer on the Sterniolo Triplets podcast said, I don't really drink, but I just drink beer, which I was like that years before I stopped drinking. I only drank beer because it didn't make me sick. And I feel like beer is so, like, if I see one more beer can with those fake snowy mountains in like red font, like it's all the same thing.
Yep.
They all like, it all looks the same. I would love, when I like used to drink beer, I would have loved if there was a beer company that like catered to like women and like the aesthetic that we might like or whatever. And it's all just so masculine. And I think we even saw the fallout with the Dylan Mulvaney situation where like it was so clear that they have such an audience that just isn't another audience that they could have. And I think that like Madison Beer launching a beer company would be perfect for her.
It would be so perfect. And to plus one what you said, I completely agree. It's so dumb. Like seltzers, it's like seltzers are for women, but beer is for men. It's like, girl, who cares? It's a beverage.
Yeah. And also because like Kendall Jenner's 818, like I think George Clooney has a alcohol line. Like a lot of celebrities have alcohol lines. It's a matter of time before a Gen Z celebrity launches an alcohol line.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Thank you.
My last creator economy prediction is I think we're really going to see the rise of, I made a video about this in the past, what I like to call like career creators. So this idea of like people who are making content but have a 9-to-5 corporate job and make content about what they do in their corporate
like the normalcy
job. So a great example we've talked about is like Molly McPherson, where like she makes videos about PR, but she like actually works in PR crisis management, like in her actual day job. We saw people like a guy with a movie camera who started as a PA and then was like documenting behind the scenes stuff and then now makes videos about movies. And I think we're really going to see these like specialty creators of like people talking about, I think you could even probably count us in this category even of like people who talked about, like creator economy and marketing when we used to work for a media company. So I think we're going to see more and more people like that where people start to realize, one, at the worst, it's just I'm building a digital portfolio for myself, essentially. Like even if the account doesn't blow up, I'm proving that I can do this and I can use it in a resume, essentially like making videos that are like, here's how I would handle this PR crisis situation if you're applying to a job in PR. You know what I mean? Or it goes well and you have the opportunity to make more money doing what you did on the internet than you would working for somebody else. So I think we're going to see more and more people kind of dip their toes into both of like a career path and a content creator, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I guess that's like, was that your last?
That was my last creator economy one.
Because that could segue good into like the marketing category.
Okay, let's do it.
Because you're so spot on. Like I called this the kind of similar, I think I like to call it, and I made a video like a year ago about it, but kind of different idea. But in this similar vein, I guess, I called it the rise of the anti-influencer. And what I meant by that, and I think it came true in a way I didn't expect, but with Gail Lewis, like the Walmart employee that's like Gail Lewis signing out 34 years, Ohio location.
I don't think I've seen.
There's a Walmart employee that's like blowing up right now because, anyways, Gail Lewis. And it's essentially what I meant by anti-influencer is not like against influencers. It's just someone who starts posting on social media and their end goal is not to move to LA, film a vlog in a very white, sterile apartment and become an LA influencer, which I think is like a huge trope that was really big for years. I think of like Emma Chamberlain moving and like Sister Squad and like James, like that whole generation of creators it was a really big entertainment factor to move to LA and make it as an influencer. Yeah. But now it's not novel or interesting anymore. Audiences don't really care about that. They care about people that have normal lives or whatever. Like now someone working 9 to 5 at a corporate job is more interesting than the third influencer that day moving to LA. Totally. And I think that we see that there was a very micro trend that was really viral, but if you know what I'm talking about, this girl goes, I want to see what a bee in Wisconsin's doing. Like, I don't care about these New York City girls anymore. Show me what a girl in Wisconsin's doing. And there was millions of views of girls being like, hi, I'm from Wisconsin. I'm going to show you what I'm doing today. Yep. And that was the rise of the anti-influencer. They're not posting with the goal of moving to LA and being an influencer. They're just posting and it becomes more interesting than the trope that everyone else has been following.
Totally. I love that. My first big marketing prediction is we've had a few of these, but I think we're due for a big one. Like a really big scandal with deepfakes is, I think, coming in 2024. Like there have been a few, and it's like there have been some false advertising and like people getting mad about it. But I think also like the technology isn't fully there. Like I think you can, if you look at it long enough, you kind of realize it. I think next year is when we're going to hit that point of like, we're going to see a major scandal breakout where somebody actually successfully scams a lot of people out of money using a celebrity's face on deepfake. And then that celebrity has to like come out and like do a statement about it and like it's going to like start a whole wave of this needs to be addressed.
I'm more scared of that happening, but with a politician. And it's starting a conflict that we cannot come back from.
That because, too. I mean, I think of what happened in the last election in social media and how much false advertising and spread of misinformation there was.
Like all it would take is one viral Twitter video of a deep fake of a political figure saying, we made this decision, blah, blah, blah. Another country making a decision that they can't undo, hitting a certain button, and we're all gone.
Yeah, I mean, or even like they could say slurs, like they could like just to like deter votes and stuff like that. You know, it's crazy.
My next one is that, and this was a conversation I had in a meeting, and I want to give credit to Lizzie was the one who brought it up, and I was like, oh my God, the rise of high quality content on TikTok. Filming with a camera, like
I have something kind of like this.
Yes, and the reason I say that is I was watching Monet McMichael's videos, the makeup girl, and her videos are filmed. Her videos are filmed like on like a NASA telescope. Like it is so high quality, and I'm like, this is how you stand out from everyone else doing
I think
iPhone
Monet
content.
Is so genius because she literally edits her TikToks like a 2017 YouTube video. And I think people love it. I think it's like this perfect combination of newness that like the type of content everybody wants right now with nostalgia.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh my God, it reminds you of Emma Chamberlain, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever, and no one else does it. Exactly what you're saying. And it's funny. I actually have a friend recently. She's just started TikTok, but she blew up. She grew 100,000 followers in 2 months.
Wow.
And she does her videos like this. And I was actually talking to her about it. And she's like, and she did it because she loves Monet McMichael. That's her favorite creator. But I was talking to her and I was like, oh, like I love the way you edit your videos. Like it reminds me of YouTube. And she was talking a lot about that. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yes. And I think it's going to be like camera quality too.
Yeah.
If not like the 4K on your
Yeah,
iPhone.
totally. Okay. Well, I'll go with my prediction that kind of leans into that.
Okay.
Was like going off with this high quality content. I think we're going to see creator led shows and IP really explode next year. Think Chicken Shop Date, think Hot Ones, that type of stuff. Think the thing Brittany Broski started. And especially expand into high scale advertising. Like this is something that I remember from I just think like the actual industry hasn't caught up to why this is so genius yet, and why episodic content is like so good for sponsorships, because if the last one got 5 million views and it's the exact same format, it's so easy to integrate a product. Like the biggest fumble of this year I was thinking about was Jack Harlow had a KFC meal and they didn't do a Chicken Shop Date episode as the campaign. It's literally her most viewed video of all time is her and Jack Harlow. I'm like, you could just do the same thing inside a KFC.
Yeah.
As like, it would have been genius. You know what I mean? And I think that we're going to see more of this too, where they like these formats for episodic sponsorships. Again, like essentially, where's all the money from TV going to go?
Yeah.
It's going to go to the people who are doing the thing closest to TV.
Yeah, I love that one. One prediction that I have is I think that more platforms are going to launch their own shows. I think TikTok is not competing with Instagram or other social platforms. I think TikTok is competing with Netflix, HBO. If you look at someone's screen time,
This is in one of my predictions,
their
too.
TikTok time versus their HBO. Like people spend time on TikTok and they're now competing with the big streaming services. I think that TikTok needs to invest in and I don't think they need to hire TikTokers. I think they need to say, baby, we're A24 now. They need to hire Jacob Elordi. They need to hire Florence Pugh, get the budget, create a mini series, put out a new episode a week. Oh my God, it would be amazing.
I think TikTok needs to get into like an actors on actors style format. I think that's where they're fumbling too, is like they need to realize the power of, we talked about this discoverability. Like the reach on TikTok is like nothing else, right?
Yeah.
You cannot post a video and get 5 million views on a YouTube account with 0 subscribers. You cannot post a picture on Instagram with 10 followers and have it seen by 5 million people. TikTok is the only place you can do that. And I think exactly what you're saying. They need to lean into this like highly produced content to give TikTok, the company, leverage over a YouTube or like a Netflix.
Exactly. Like I think one of YouTube's mistakes in the beginning, but like not even a mistake, but when they launched YouTube TV and then they had Escape the Night, awesome. They should have also had another show with A-list actors and been like budget. Like we are not messing around with just that anymore.
The most genius idea would have been, let's do Escape the Night. Let's do a YouTube original format, but half of it is celebrities and half of it is creators. So there's 10 people in Escape the Night, but 5. Do you get what I mean? Like, because I think that's also how you kind of start to create the image of putting these people in the same tier.
True. I was going to say, like, I feel like at least back then when Escape the Night came out, celebrities were more skeptical though, and they wouldn't have wanted to be on a show with creators.
Maybe.
Unfortunately.
Maybe.
Like I just... another one of mine is that there is going to be a phone company like Casetify or like Wildflower Cases. I don't know why someone hasn't done it yet. They're going to come out with a new phone case that is created by a creator for creators. If anyone wants to email us, we're here. I would love to do it. And Casetify, call us. It would be a phone case and it has a thing that comes out and it's a stand so your phone can
like
stand up. A kickstand.
Yep.
It will have a microphone that you can plug in that pops out or something, a nice microphone. It's going to have, the most important, a flash, a thing that pops out and is like, boom, in your face flash. And it is going to be and maybe even the back can be like a mirror or something so you can see what you look like. Because now, this is my thing, where I think Google Pixel is doing it right, people are no longer buying phones to communicate. They're buying phones to create.
Yeah.
Communicating is secondary.
Yep.
I send more text on my laptop than my phone. My phone is where I film, where I create, where I make my money. Communicating is secondary to me. And I think they need to have a phone case that comes out that is by a creator for a creator. That needs to happen.
I think that's such a good idea. And they should sell it on TikTok Shop.
They should sell it. That would be amazing. Like,
Yep. 100%.
and it's going to happen if it doesn't already. So
Yeah. Number 3, I think we are going to have an AI Super Bowl commercial this year.
Oh,
and it's
my
going to go so viral. I don't know what it's going to be. I would really love it if it was something where, like, we think the commercial is entirely one celebrity actor talking, and then halfway through it cuts off, and like the AI like, and it's like a different celebrity spokesperson. And obviously, I think they should do it legally, like pay both of them. But I think we'll see something like that where it's like a surprise reveal AI is going to be really, really popular in marketing. Like this idea of like tricking people into think it's one thing, then halfway through the AI disappears and it's something else.
That has to happen.
I think it's just so viral. People love it. And AI is such a buzzword right now. Everybody's like, oh my God, so-and-so, Coca-Cola's new AI campaign.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, girl. It's such an easy win that I know they'll do it.
Yeah, and I'm sure one company, if it's not ChatGPT or Google Bard or Bing, someone's going to put out a lot of money this year for a Super Bowl commercial saying that their AI technology is better than all the rest. Like someone needs to just come out the gates and be like, we are the AI technology. Like, so I could see like that happening. And then my last marketing one is that I think that there is going to be some sort of reality show that happens to find a new podcast host. Like right now.
And we are the judges.
And we're the judges. Like podcasting is such a hot ticket item. It's the new influencer. It's the new America's Next Top Model. It's the new American Idol. How has someone not done a reality show? And it's like a boot camp with like 12 people, and every week someone gets eliminated and they have to test. I like podcasting. I love it, but there's skills that I didn't understand at first. Like interviewing is a special skill, time management, intros. Like one episode could be having the best intro. Second episode could be they have to interview celebrities and who does it best, who makes the celebrity comfortable, who booked the celebrity,
that would be
emailing.
Fun.
That would be such a good show. And I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but I can see it happening.
I don't know why we haven't gotten an influencer reality TV show yet.
Well,
because
we have a few.
The whole point is that they're not really supposed to be talented.
Oh.
They just need to be messy.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing people on the internet know how to do, it's that. Like, imagine.
Barstool Sports did one. It was like the BFF pod. And it was like, be the next influencer. And
that's not what I want. I don't want to be next. I don't want to, because there's also that makeup one that they do. I don't want that. I want
like the James Charles
to take all the villains of the internet and I want to put them in one house with cameras on.
Yes.
And that, like, let's do Big Brother.
Yes.
Like, how do you know what I mean? Something like that. Like, I just want to pit terrible people against each other and consume it for my entertainment. Is that so much to ask?
It wasn't even necessarily villains, but because I like your villain idea, but they did it with Kian and JC. Casey.
Yeah.
I'm not.
O2L?
O2L, they had that where they rented a big house and they had like 3 seasons, and like Gabby Hanna was on, like they had like influencers compete and it was Big Brother style.
I love that. I see. I want that. I want them to be at each other's throats.
Yes.
And I want to watch it. Okay, I have one more marketing one.
Okay.
I have heard. Have you heard the theories of everyone talking about how this influencer bubble is popping?
Yes.
I could not disagree more. And I think that is the furthest thing from the truth.
Okay.
So I used to work in influencer marketing for 3 years. And from my experience, I don't think people understand how much brands are willing to pour money into the internet. Because at the end of the day, it's an industry, right?
Yeah.
It's all about money. People talking about influencer bubble popping because this amount of platforms, this amount of this. That doesn't matter as long as money is involved. Honestly, that's the way it works. And television is still a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yet the average viewership for television has been on the decline every year for decades at this point. Literally decades. Where do you think those billions of dollars are going to go?
Yeah.
It's not, we're not going to randomly start picking up magazines again. You know what I mean? We're not going to do newspapers. Like, if the closest thing is the internet. I think the more we see TV, like actual cable television, start to fall apart, then there's commercials in all of this. Where are these people going to advertise?
Yes.
The internet. Who's better to do that with than creators?
Yeah.
So I think when people talk about this influencer bubble popping, they're not looking at it from a wide lens of like, yeah, you as the viewer might see things that think like, okay, maybe this content creator thing's getting a little saturated. There's a lot of them now, but brands and in the industry are so slow. They don't know what they're doing 99.9% of the time. And there are, I guarantee you, multiple $1 million companies who have yet to ever do a single influencer marketing campaign, and it's 2023.
Yeah. And it's like that notion that we're always told to is, as a creator, don't feel bad asking for money when you're making a TikTok, because you're saving that company. If they were to make a commercial, director, producer, set, actors, placement, after the commercial's made, placing it on TV, like your 10,000 is not a candle.
Then they have to pay them for every month that they run it. It's like crazy.
Yeah. I guess we're doing wild card now.
We haven't done movies. It's movie.
Movies.
Let's do
Okay.
wild card last.
Okay.
I feel like wild card needs to be last.
Okay, cool. You can go first for movies.
Okay. My first movie prediction, Bretman Rock is going to be that chicken in Moana. I'm confident that it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, we, the people, need to stage a riot. Like, I want him to be that chicken so bad. It's so funny. I think it would be like, he literally owns chickens.
They're live action?
They're doing a live action of Moana.
I would love it. As long as, maybe it'll be his voice, but I hope they don't do what they did to Flounder and Ariel. Skinty Flounder.
No, the whole point,
took away the magic.
Bretman Rock's making TikToks about this. The whole point is the chicken doesn't talk. The chicken only makes chicken sounds.
Okay.
And he's been like making TikToks practicing his chicken impersonations and he's been sending them to The Rock. Like literally sending them to Dwayne Johnson and posting screenshots of it.
Bretman's
I love it. And I think that it would be a stupid idea by Disney because I would see it just for that. Like, I think it would be so funny if he was a chicken in the movie.
It reminds me, I think the name's like, what's the chicken's name? It's like TK or...
I can't remember.
Anyways, it's Hey Hey. I was at Disneyland once and I was eating one of those big giant turkey legs. I was so excited to eat. And this family, the kids started crying because they go, she's eating Hey Hey. Mom, is that Hey? I was like, no, it's a turkey, not a chicken. And the kids didn't know the difference.
I love that.
Yeah, so now I can't see that chicken without thinking about traumatizing children.
How could you?
My next one is that Jacob Elordi is going to be cast as Batman in something. A24, DC, Warner. What? Jacob Elordi is meant to be Batman. Like, that's why he was put on Earth.
I got to think about this one more. Well, I think I'm just tired of all the Batman renditions. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we give it a break? I love the Christopher Nolan Batmans.
Yeah.
They were good. Let's give Batman a few years off. But I do get what you mean. He does have that sort of like dark, stern face. He's got that deep, raspy. Batman's always like,
When he was like mumbling and Priscilla, he's like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh my God. No, and also they're going to have a resurgence of it because Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn Joker movie comes out, I think, next year. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of
Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn?
Hello? I think so. Dude,
have I been under a rock?
Lady Gaga's been filming for Joaquin Phoenix. Like, it's literally her as Harley Quinn, I think.
I love that.
That's why she's been
Lady
MIA.
Gaga should be an EGOT winner, low key. Let's talk about it.
Wait, is she not an EGOT?
No. Did you know there's only 24 EGOT winners in history?
Really?
I randomly had to do research on this the other day. The most recent one was Viola Davis. The youngest person to ever win was 39. That's so old.
Yeah, because you have to like work.
Also, off topic, I have a theory Billie Eilish is going to be an EGOT winner.
That's my bingo. We got the same Billie Eilish EGOT.
I have tea that I have to tell you about after this, after the cameras are off. But yes, girl, I think Billie Eilish is gonna win an EGOT because I think she's already won Grammy and Oscar, the hardest two. She just turned 22.
Yeah,
17 years to win a Tony and an Emmy. That's easy. That's easy. She's gonna be the youngest EGOT winner in history.
And she has such a good voice for jazz music because she's been planting the seed, I think, for a musical for that Tony, the T and EGOT, because she did that Jack and Sally, like Nightmare Before Christmas show last year where she was singing like jazz Broadway music with a live band.
Yep.
She is planting the seed.
This segues into one of my predictions. Sadly, I think 2024 is going to be the year of musicals.
Don't put
It's
that
going to
out there.
be the same. Remember the year Hamilton came out? And it's just...
We haven't recovered from that.
I know. And I think it's going to happen again. You're going to see some 35-year-old women singing Mean Girl songs at the mall.
And like that's fine, but if you're gonna bring the musical vibe back, it needs to be like Glee. Like I need Ryan Murphy in the mix because that I will
Let's
watch
talk
Glee.
about it. Why have we not gotten a Glee reboot? Thank God. Zoe 102 High School Musical. Where's the Glee reboot?
I know.
Where is the Glee reboot? Imagine now current pop songs.
I know.
Imagine Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande covers on Glee.
The
with
Glee
a Glee
chorus?
cast.
I feel the rush, addicted to you. Ah, dude, that was
Yes.
Where is
and
it?
that the next generation of gays need to hear that.
yes.
They need to hear Rush Glee version.
That maybe that needs to be a TV prediction for me. I'll cross one out.
Honestly, let's
Glee.
we're gonna pull all we're gonna pull our predictions. But
Glee reboot.
yeah. Okay, now your prediction, because I just gave one.
Okay, Hunter Schafer needs to be cast in the upcoming
Zelda?
season of, well, not just that, because I've heard of that, Zelda. And I'm a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
knew
I
you
love
were.
Zelda. I'll nerd out.
You're a Zelda girl.
Hunter Schafer, House of the Dragons, Targaryen. Blonde,
Yes.
the blonde hair, that
Yes.
ethereal, like oh my. And she looks like she could be related to Emma Darcy. So that needs to happen.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is I think we're going to see a really big rise in this trend of film projects that are produced and or directed by the lead in the project. So like Zendaya executive produced Euphoria. Michael B. Jordan was the director of Creed 3, which ended up being the most highly grossing movie of that entire franchise.
Okay.
And I think we're seeing too, like, I think they're just good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I really just think if somebody has embodied the character that well, and especially if it's something like it's in a sequel, like a third movie, they have such a talent for understanding how they would actually react in the situation because they've really like embodied them. And I think it makes I just think it makes it feel real. Like I felt like Euphoria really felt, the high school thing was a little weird because they're like all 30, but like I do feel like the way people acted and interacted, especially the way Rue acted, was made a lot of sense.
Okay.
Like even, or like to the way a real person would act, even if it's like, she's not logical because she's an addict, like that's her character. But I do think like that is how an addict would act. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I really like that and I want to see more of that.
And that leads me to my TV prediction that I think that they're just going to announce Euphoria's done, babe. We're not bringing the time they start filming again, those actors, like they're not just at college anymore. Like they are
popping out kids.
They're in the C-suite at Google. Like they're 55.
C-suite at Google.
They're not even in college anymore.
It's a Euphoria retirement home.
Yeah. No, okay, maybe that will work.
That I could get into.
Yeah.
I think that they're not going to announce it for a long time because I think they know the second they announce it, people are going to cancel their HBO subscriptions.
True.
So I think it's going to be on hush hush, and it's like delayed for a while.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Euphoria has that pull anymore.
I think it
I'll
does.
be honest. I don't think so.
I think it does. I mean, I don't think it the level of what it did because it's been a long time, but I think people really like that show.
Maybe.
I think people really like that show. My prediction is I think the most viewed television show and or movie of 2024 will not be based off of a previously existing franchise. I think it's going to be a completely new
I hope
movie or format because we've gotten so much nostalgia bait talking about it in our last episode that we've just seen so much of it. And I think we're going to have another like everything everywhere all at once situation where we get this random movie that just blows up and everybody loves it. And I think people are really craving like new stuff.
Yeah.
We need new stuff.
Yeah. This I guess is kind of my last one for TV movie, but it ties into what we were saying earlier. But I actually had a vision when I was waking up this morning, which is so weird. That's when I get my like best ideas.
Mine's always in the shower.
Oh, really? Okay. Billie Eilish is going to be Dorothy in a Wizard of Oz remake musical A24. And you know why? Hello? Because one, the EGOT, she's going to go for an EGOT.
Okay.
It might even just be in a musical on Broadway. And there's going to be a huge surge of emphasis on Wizard of Oz next year because of the movie coming out, Wicked, with Ariana Grande. And so I could see someone, it's going to be like a musical psychological thing with Billie Eilish, and it's gonna be called like Yellow Brick, The Yellow Brick or something. But Billie Eilish is Dorothy in A Wizard of Oz 21st century. I can see it happening.
Okay, I don't see it at all. I'm gonna be
Really?
honest. I just can't see her as Dorothy. Dorothy's all, I'm Dorothy.
No, but
And
that
I
would
feel like
be
Billie's
so
not
good.
like that.
But she's acting though.
You're right.
You know what? Like you have to go for
Can we get
something that
Lana
isn't.
as Dorothy?
Oh, I see. I think she'd be like
She's
the
too
witch
old
in
still.
the pink like dress. Yeah, like
You
she
think
would
Lana's Glinda?
I think so.
Maybe. Is
Yeah.
Lana Glinda? Comment below.
Comment down below.
Comment below. Okay, my last movie one
Okay.
is, you're not going to agree with me. I think the Mean Girls movie is actually going to be good. I'm coming around.
Okay.
Well, like, I think that I have too much faith in Tina Fey. I don't think Tina Fey.
Okay.
I've yet to see a Tina Fey production that's disappointed me.
That's fair.
And I think that she wouldn't give away the rights to the movie unless it was going to be good. I think it's going to be cheesy, but I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Okay.
I know
We'll
you feel very differently about the Mean Girls thing, but I'm
not very.
optimistic.
I don't feel very differently. I'm indifferent. I
Okay.
just don't care.
That's valid.
My thing is this, and I love as someone who grew up with Mean Girls. Can we give it a break?
No, I do think we need to give it a break.
I'm not trying to be rude. Ever since I was in high school, I could not open up Facebook without seeing a status on Wednesdays we were pink. And
Girl.
that's where it all, on Wednesdays we were pink is where it all
Let's
started.
talk about October 3rd's not funny anymore. It was
No.
arguably not funny the first time.
It's just like people hound the Mean Girls memes and it's had us in a chokehold. Society.
It's holding us back.
It's holding us by our hair back. And I would argue that as someone who loves the Mean Girl movie, it's diluting it. Like, can we just give it a break?
I think so.
And the same thing is starting to happen with Clueless, but not as much as Mean Girl. That's just so I'm not thinking the Mean Girls movie is going to be bad, the new one. I'm just indifferent because I'm over it. I'm over the
That
Mean Girls thing.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Well, good segue. My first miscellaneous prediction, going off exactly what you were saying about Clueless, because Clueless is exactly the example I was going to use. I think we're going to see 2024, a lot of the biggest fashion trends are going to be rooted in millennial nostalgia. A lot of things that were popular in 2000s, 2010s.
Mustache.
A lot of things, not the mustache. We can let... YOLO.
He lied. She
Let's bring
lies.
YOLO back.
Real eyes.
Let's bring those Justin Bieber like shutter
Yeah,
sunglasses
but
back.
you couldn't see a thing.
Yeah, couldn't see a thing. No, I think we're gonna see a lot. Like I could see like the sorts of like Clueless fashion, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
even the like. I just think we're gonna see a lot of fashion geared towards this millennial stuff because so much. We got a Wonka movie, we got a Mean Girls movie,
Yeah.
we got again talking. Why was Flowers by Miley Cyrus the most streamed song of the year? I still don't know.
Yeah.
The millennials are holding it down apparently, and I think they're gonna
Millennials have
sadly
buying power.
continue to hold it down in fashion.
And we're getting to that age where they're now romanticizing
Youth.
the millennial.
Yeah, I think
just
also like there's
millennials.
just this weird thing about your 30s where it's like the decade of dreading your 40s but romanticizing your 20s.
Yeah.
And that's why there's so much like nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay, my first wild card is that Alex Cooper is going to announce that she's like stepping away from Call Her Daddy. I think she's going to pull a Simon Cowell, which is where you leave something when it's at its peak and then your legacy is forever remembered. And I think that she wants to go more of a backseat production, which is why she launched the Unwell Network.
Yeah.
And she's overseeing Alex Earl, Madeline Argy, and it ties into the other prediction. I think that the Unwell Network is going to host the first ever reality show competition for the next host of Call Her Daddy. And Alex Cooper is going to be like the Tyra Banks, like the host that's like helping guide it without like all the unethical things of America's Next Top Model. But I just think that like Alex Cooper is realizing like now she's kind of moved on
Yeah.
from just being a host.
I think that Alex Cooper trying to replicate the success of like an America's Next Top Model type of show using Unwell is a very good idea.
Yes.
Like essentially making herself Tyra Banks.
Yes.
And I think there is a lot of power in self-proclaiming you are the authority of blank.
Yeah.
Like low-key, I don't know this much about drag, but I think it's kind of like what RuPaul did.
Exactly.
Like it's like all of drag, like might as well drag has been started by RuPaul at this point.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's not, the art form existed decades and centuries before, but like it does feel like RuPaul invented drag.
Yeah. Putting
And I
yourself.
think Alex Cooper could do a similar type of thing.
Yes. Your next one?
Miscellaneous number 2. I think we are due for a messy brand trip. I think it's been a while.
I pray for them.
I think it's been a while
It's
since
so
we've
nice.
had like a hurricane of a brand trip. Like I'm talking OG, Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, James Charles, all on
Like
the
when
same
Manny
brand trip
Mua
type.
said they were on the flight back from Bora Bora just shaking because they knew when they got self-service, their like careers were done.
We're gonna see something like that. We need a messy,
What brand?
steamy. I want to say Tarte because they
know.
always do. It's like Tarte and Revolve seem to be constantly in these little situations, but I would love if it was a wild card. Polo Ralph Lauren, low key, I could see it coming down.
No, what if it was like something so specific? Like it was like a whipped cream brand.
I would love Tillamook cheese brand trip goes wrong. Like I would eat that up.
I am like, as long as it's nothing like really harmful or like hurtful to people,
Yeah.
when it's just drama, baby, I love the brand trip drama.
I know, I love the brand trip drama too.
Because it's just so there. It's like when your friends like in high school had like a really big sleepover and shit just goes down.
That's exactly
and
what
you
it's
have
like.
to like
That's
stumble into a
exactly what it's
McDonald's
like.
the next
and
morning
I love
and like
that there's
talk.
always tea and there's like 8 different perspectives.
I know.
You know what? Like it gets out that something happened and then someone's like, well, I was in the east wing of the hotel, so like I didn't really see it was happening around dinner time. And it's like so like the stupidest drama. But
Yes.
I love it.
Me too.
And I need more chaos in that.
Yes. Again, as long as it's not like really harmful to
Yes.
anyone,
Yeah.
like as long as it's surface level.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Then one of my last ones is that Amelia Dims will be one of the red carpet hosts for the Met Gala this year.
I think so too.
I think if not, Amelia Dims is going to attend the Met Gala this year. Again, Chicken Shop Date. This was the year of Chicken Shop Date.
It was.
She was holding it down. She gets her. I mean, it was interesting when she was talking about on Hot Ones with Sean Evans that now Jennifer Lawrence, who her Chicken Shop Date episode got, I think like 15 million views or something, but that Jennifer Lawrence flew to London to do press for her No Hard Feelings movie, only did Chicken Shop Date and went home. She didn't go to like any other radio shows. Though Amelia
That's
Dims
commitment.
and Hot Ones are changing the game.
Yep.
And I think that Amelia Dims seems more forward facing than Sean Evans. So I could see her not only going to the Met Gala, being one of the hosts, and Colin and Samir asked her about it. Do you feel competition with Emma Chamberlain? Like she's one of the hosts. Like, is that something you'd love to do? And Amelia Dims had a great reply from what I remember. I'm paraphrasing. She's essentially like, I kind of understand that it's not going to go to me until Emma steps down. Like Emma's probably going to be the best person for that job until she decides she doesn't want to be.
Right. And I think it's weirdly because like the Met Gala, they really want someone to talk about the fashion.
Yeah.
Like I really think that's what
And
it is.
Emma's good at that.
Yeah, I think she's good at
true.
that. My prediction was I think we're gonna see the rise of a major I think we're really having this like loneliness crisis as a society right now, where it started in the pandemic. And then I think also like low key, we all just became so sufficient at not talking to anybody. Like the entire work culture changed. Like it's so much that I think we're going to see a really big rise of a major brand. My prediction, Instagram. Lean into a business model that's focused around like curating real world events again. So like a great example I thought would be if Instagram launched a feature that was like Facebook events, what that used to be, or like kind of essentially taking market share from like an Eventbrite. Like how cool would it be if you could just with the tap of a button, like put everybody in a group chat who you want to come to you're having a housewarming. You can instantly put everyone in a group chat. You can instantly see who's going to RSVP. You can see who's invited. You can see if you're mutuals with any of the people invited. Like you can all reach out to each other. You don't have to ask for people's phone numbers if you don't have it because you can just DM it to them on Instagram. Like I think we're going to see a lot of success of like people using the internet to harness real world experiences again, because I just think we as a society are really like craving these third places and craving community. And I think it would be smart for a social media platform to get into like a physical space.
I agree. I've always said like I wish that there was like almost like a gym membership, but for filming, where like you could pay $20 a month and like show up to a warehouse, and there's like rooms that you could go in and like film. There's like ring lights. Like that would be so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, my wild card prediction is that I think that like the H3 podcast and Ethan Klein, I think he's gonna like retire or like step down and let the other like Dan and like the other faces that are on the podcast become like the new host. And I think he's going to take a back seat because I feel like Ethan and Hila are reaching this tipping point of like, sometimes I feel like it's very volatile at times, the podcast. And I think also that they have family now, like they have young kids now. Hila has Teddy Fresh. And I think that whether it was purposeful or not, I feel like they have Dan and Olivia and like the other members that do the back end of the show becoming more personalities.
Yeah. For context, we were both fans of H3.
Yeah.
I think if he does, I think it's going to be like a slow transition.
Yeah.
So like, it's not going to be like Ethan stops, but it's going to be first, like there is a new show that is hosted by like 2 people who aren't Ethan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but it airs weekly until that's really popular. Then once that's popular, you know what I mean? Like, I think he'll like, kind of like slowly climb down the ladder.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like let somebody else ramp up in the meantime. My last prediction, I have a theory that TikTok is about to get into a television app, like TikTok TV.
That's kind of what we were saying earlier, that a TikTok's going to have a produced show.
Yep. I think, so do you remember how you made that video talking about how TikTok added 30-minute videos?
Yep.
I don't think it's to add videos on the app because everyone was commenting like, why? I don't want to watch 30 minutes of something on TikTok. I agree. I don't think that's what they're thinking about. I think they're thinking about your television the same way YouTube got on your television. Like, I think it would be so smart to just have, and I watch YouTube on my television more than I watch it on my computer. And I think that if TikTok doesn't touch that space at all, it's going to be a huge wasted opportunity, especially think Met Gala next year. TikTok sponsoring the Met Gala. YouTube always does a live stream. I could see TikTok timing their launch like with that live stream. They're also doing TikTok music. Spotify also has a TV app, right? They're talking about launching TikTok podcasts and stuff like that. Podcasts you watch on your TV too. Like, I think that we're going to see TikTok launch like a long form version, but it's not an app. It's like TV only.
I see. But yeah, that is so smart because I would love if like, it's sometimes scrolling and stuff. And I think they are trying to get into long form.
I don't think we'll like scroll like this watching TikToks on TV. I think that's weird.
Yeah.
But I think it will be like actual 16:9 longer form content, but on TikTok. Or it'll also be like TikTok music is on TV or like podcasts are on TV. Anything TikTok live has the option to be seen on TV.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Or also another thing I think would be low-key genius is if they kind of made it like a TV, like a channel, like a TV station.
Yeah.
Where it's always running 24/7, but what's on it is always changing.
Yeah.
Because they have so much random stuff that they do now. Like, I don't know if you like Davis Burleson has like that podcast with Sirius XM and stuff like that. Like they could put that for an hour and then like a Call Her Daddy episode for an hour. And then like, I think that they could actually create like a running television almost.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's I guess I might
have
have
any
one
more?
more. I might have one more to hit my 4th for it's just random, but like, I mean, again, I just love the Met Gala. Like I always think about that.
Me too.
Julia Fox is going to have the best look at the Met Gala this year. And it'll be her first.
Has she ever been?
Nope.
Wow. She's going to go. She's going to go for sure. Wow.
Yay.
24 predictions. Do you have a favorite in summary?
Billie Eilish EGOT, because we both had that one.
Billie Eilish EGOT. Dude, and Happy New Year. This is our last episode of the year.
Yes, thank you guys.
God. Thank you for all the love, dude.
I know.
We had our most viewed episode recently. It's Sabrina Carpenter Effect. It made us so happy. And we are so excited for the Share Your Screen takeover of 2024. That's the real prediction, baby.
There we go.
The Share Your Screen takeover.
Exact 100K. Like I could see it. I could see. I'm. If not, I'm just happy But also comment down below things that you think will happen in 2024. So you have a screenshot to use when it comes true.
Please comment your predictions. And if you send your sheets in the Discord. I want to see your bingo cards.
Yes.
And we'll see you all next year.
Bye.
Bye.